Yo yo, what is up, my gravy babies? It's your boy, Lego Redhead, back at you again with another Brick of Mormon reading. Nephi and his brothers took their this is Book of Mormon 1 Nephi 3:24 through 26. Nephi and his brothers took their treasures to Laban. Laban was greedy and wanted to keep their treasure, but not give them the plates. He sent his servants to kill Nephi and his brothers. They had to run away and leave the treasure. And it came to pass that we went into unto Laban, and desired him that he would give unto us the records, which we engraven upon the plates of brass, for which we would give unto him our gold and our silver, and all our precious things. And it came to pass that when Laban saw our property, and that it was exceedingly great, he did lust after it, insomuch that he thrust us out, and sent his servants to slay us, that he might obtain our property. And it came to pass that we did flee before the servants of Laban, and we were obliged to leave behind our property, and it fell into the hands of Laban. The brothers hid from Laban's servants in a cave. Laman and Lamanuel were angry and hit Nephi and Sam with a rod. An angel appeared and stopped the fight. The angel told Nephi to return to the city and said the Lord would help Nephi. And it came to pass that we fled into the wilderness, and the servants of Laban did not overtake us, and we hid ourselves in the cavity of a rock. And it came to pass that Laman was angry with me, and also with my father, and also was Lamael. For he hearkened unto the words of Laman, wherefore Laman and Lamanuel did speak many hard words unto us, the youngest brothers, and they did smite us even with a rod. And it came to pass that they smote us with a rod. Behold, an angel of the Lord came and stood before them, and he spake unto them, saying, Why do ye smite your younger brother with a rod? Know ye that the Lord hath chosen him to be a ruler over you, and this because of your iniquities? Behold, ye shall go up to Jerusalem again, and the Lord will deliver Laban into your hands. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 3:27 through 29. Laman and Lamael were still angry, but they followed Nephi back into the city. Nephi went into the city at night. He didn't know what to do get the plates, but the spirits led him. Now when I had spoken these words they were yet wroth, and did still continue to murmur. Nevertheless they did follow me up until we came without the walls of Jerusalem. And it was by night, and I caused that they should hide themselves without the walls. And after they had hid themselves, I, Nephi, crept into the city, and went forth towards the house of Laban. And I was led by the Spirit, not knowing beforehand the things which I should do. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 4:4-6. When Nephi was close to Laban's house, he saw a man lying on the ground. It was Laban. Laban was asleep. The spirit told Nephi to kill Laban. Nephi did not know what to do, because he had no desire to hurt or kill anyone. Nevertheless, I went forth, and as I came near unto the house of Laban, I beheld a man, and he had fallen to the earth before me, for he was drunken with wine. And when I came to him, I found that it was Laban. And I beheld his sword, and I drew it forth from the sheath thereof, and the hilt thereof was of pure gold, and the workmanship thereof was exceedingly fine, and I saw that the blade thereof was of the most precious steel. And it came to pass that I was constrained by the Spirit that I should kill Laban. But I said in my heart, Never at any time have I shed the blood of man, and I shrunk and would that I might not slay him. This uh, Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 4:7 through 10. The spirit Nephi that the Lord had prepared a way for Nephi to obtain the records. Nephi obeyed God and killed Laban. And the Spirit said unto me again, Behold, the Lord hath delivered him into thy hands. Yea, and I also knew that he had sought to take away mine own life. Yea, and he would not hearken unto the commandments of the Lord. And he also had taken away our property. And it came to pass that the Spirit said unto me again, Slay him, for the Lord hath delivered him into thy hands. And again I knew that the Lord had delivered Laban into my hands for this cause, that I might obtain the records according to his commandments. Therefore I did obey the voice of the Spirit, and took Laban by the hair of the head, and I smote off his head with his own sword. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 4:11 through 12, 17 through 18. And it came to pass that when Zoram had made an oath unto us, our fears did cease concerning him. And it came to pass that we took the plates of brass and the servants of Laban, and departed into the wilderness, and journeyed unto the tent of our father. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 4:30, 33, 35 through 38. Lehi's vision of the tree of life, page 29. After Lehi's family was together again in the wilderness, Lehi had a dream about the tree of life. The fruit of the tree was very delicious and made people happy. And it came to pass that when my father tarried in the wilderness, he spake unto us, saying, Behold, I have dreamed a dream, or in other words, I have seen a vision. For behold, methought I saw in my dream a dark and dreary wilderness. And it came to pass that I saw a man, and he was dressed in a white robe, and he came and stood before me. And it came to pass that he spake unto me, and bade me follow him. After I had traveled for the space of many hours in darkness, I began to pray unto the Lord that he would have mercy on me according to the multitude of his tender mercies. And it came to pass, after I had prayed unto the Lord, I beheld a large and spacious field. And it came to pass that I beheld a tree whose fruit was desirable to make one happy. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 8:2, 4, 5:10. Lehi ate some of the white fruit and was filled with joy. He wanted his family to feel the same happiness. And it came to pass that I did go forth and partake of the fruit thereof, and I beheld that it was most sweet, above all I ever before tasted. Yea, and I beheld that the fruit thereof was white, to exceed all the whiteness that I had ever seen. And I partook of the fruit thereof, and filled my soul with exceedingly great joy. Wherefore I began to desire so that my family should partake of it also, for I knew that it was desirable above all other fruit. And as I cast my eyes round about, that perhaps I might discover my family also, I beheld a river of water, and it ran along, and it was near a tree of which I was partaking the fruit. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 8:11 through 13. Lehi looked for his family and called for them to come and eat the fruit. Sariah, Sam, and Nephi came, but Laman and Lemuel would not eat. And I took to behold off from whence it came, and I saw the head thereof a little way off. At the head therefore I beheld you, mother Sariah, and Sam, and Nephi, and they stood as if they knew not whither they should go. And it came to pass that I beckoned unto them, and I also did say unto them with a loud voice that they should come unto me, and partake of the fruit, which was desirable above all other fruit. And it came to pass that they did come unto me and partake of the fruit also. And it came to pass that I was desirous that Laban and Lemuel should come and partake of the fruit also. Wherefore I cast mine eyes towards the head of the river, and perhaps I might see them. And it came to pass that I saw them, but they would not come unto me and partake of the fruit. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 8:14 through 18. Lehi also saw a rod of iron and a narrow path that led to the tree. He saw many people coming towards the path. And I beheld a rod of iron, and it extended along the bank of the river, and led the tree by which I stood. And I also beheld a straight and narrow path which came along by the rod of iron, even out to the tree by which I stood. And it also led by the head of the fountain unto a large and spacious field, as if it had been a world. And I saw numberless concourses of people, many of whom were pressing forward, that they might obtain the path which led unto the trees by which I stood. And it came to pass that they did come forth and commence in the path which led to the trees. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 8:19 through 22. Many of the people who started on the path were lost along the way and did not find the tree. Others were able to hold on to a rod of iron and reach the tree. And it came to pass that then arose a mist of darkness, yea, even an exceedingly great mist of darkness, insomuch that who had commenced in the path did lose their way, that they wandered off and were lost. And it came to pass that I beheld others pressing forward, and they came forth and caught hold of the end of the rod of iron, and they did press forward through the mist of darkness, clinging to the rod of iron, even until they did come forth and partake of the fruit of the tree. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 8:23 through 24. Some of those who ate the fruit were sad because the people in the great and spacious buildings were making fun of them. Lehi, Sariah, Nephi, and Sam didn't listen to the joking and the laughing, and after they had partaken of the fruit of the tree, they cast their eyes about as if they were ashamed. And I also cast my eyes about, and beheld, on the other side of the river of water, a great and spacious building, and it stood as if it were in the air, high above the earth. And it came to pass that many were drowned in the depths of the fountain, and many were lost from his view, wandering in the strange road. And great was the multitude that did enter into that strange building. And after they did enter into that building, they did point the finger of scorn at me, and those who were partaking of the fruit also. But we heeded them not. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 8:25 through 24, 32 through 33. This has been reading of the Book of Mormon, pages 20 through 36. The next section is the Liahona. It's rather clear that this section of the test paints a dire picture for the re-election chances of President of the United States, Donald John Trump, hallowed be thy name. Uh, Donald John Trump Sr., I should specify, of course, against his deviled opponent, Joesph Robinette Biden Jr. Uh, it is rather clear that the scripture brings a portent of doom for his campaign. So this has been a reading of the Book of Mormon. Thank you, and I will see you again.